Vietnam, Steve is on his way.
Sing ciao everybody, welcome back. You're watching Vietnam Steve and I've made it here to Ha Long Bay. You've caught me on a very quiet day in Ha Long Bay today because we've just dodged a bullet with a typhoon yesterday, and consequently the coffee shop here is quite quiet. Everything seems quite still and subdued, and I think people are a little bit scared after the typhoon last year. Don't worry, we've got another one coming next week, and so if you're looking for typhoon footage, you might well find it here. Anyway, come along, I'll tell you what's been happening, and rest assured I've got a good one for you today. So if I spin the camera around, you'll see exactly where I am here, right on the bay, and there's not a breath of air. So I don't know if you can see these trees behind me, not a breath of air. But if you look here at the shopping centre, all the windows are barricaded. We've got sandbags inside and out. The apartment that I'm living in has the doors barricaded. We have to go in and out through the basement. And had an interesting trip back here to Vietnam. Came on China Airlines, which is the Taiwan airline, and that's a very good one. You had a couple of bags on there, plenty of space, good service, reasonable food, and an uneventful trip. Been here a day or so now, and just getting acclimatised. My wife's got to get a licence renewed and a few things like that. I've got some online stuff that I'm doing every morning, but pretty much free as a bird in the afternoon. And I thought I may not have been able to get this one out to you today because it was forecast for bucket loads of rain. But here I am, footloose and fancy free. So I wanted to talk to you today about the illusion of being a developed country. And so one of the things in Vietnam here is it's not really a third world country. It's really improved, and there's a lot of infrastructure that proves that it's well on the way. But sometimes you hit a wall sometimes, and it just makes you wonder. So one of the things that I've come across here, particularly in the last week, is my wife's had to renew her licence, and to do that now it's online. And so you go to the local police station and there's three people sitting there doing nothing that tell you to go and do it online. So she's done it online, but they don't have enough plastic cards, so she's got to wait 3 to 6 months to get the plastic cards. So while we might have immediate online service in renewing your licence, it does get a bit difficult if they can't dish out the card at the end of the day. So somebody thought it through, but they didn't think it all the way through. I suppose there's 100 million people here, so you're probably dishing out 40,000 plastic cards a day. If someone forgets to put the order in, they're going to run short of plastic cards. The other thing I've seen, even just today, and in fact I'll spin this camera around here, you'll see these boats are all parked up because we thought there was a typhoon coming. Somebody just parked their car in the middle of the street, so it's a 2-lane road or 4-lane road. One of the lanes just parked his car there. It was adjacent to a vacant parking place, so we decided to give him a toot and get him to move his car. So he came and just moved it up one car, but still remained blocking the 1/4 of the road, I suppose. So you can give them a licence, but you can't give them brains. So seeing a few things like that are starting to chip away at the veneer of Vietnam being a digital powerhouse. They've got the right idea, but they don't seem to have the follow through. That said, still get stuff done fast here. Need your car service, you just rock in and do it without booking. Need to rent an apartment, you could rent an apartment in about an hour. So some things do happen quickly, but other things that you think would be quite seamless seem to take a long time. We've bought an apartment in the Dragon Castle there. It's taken about 2 years for them to complete the paperwork. Last time we were here, we got the paperwork signed off, paid a lot of money to have it all witnessed. And here we are sort of a few months later and they still haven't completed it yet. So I did tell them I'd like to buy a second apartment, but given it's taken them 2 years to finalise the paperwork on the first one, I'd have to hold off on that. My plans here for the next few weeks are to get out and talk to you every day. This is an afternoon jobby now. It's 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Get out and talk to you every day, show you what's happening around the streets, and show you the sights and sounds of Vietnam. That's the major shopping centre there. I will tour you around the one over where I live. They're building one that's probably 6 or 8 times the size of that one over there. And really just give you a feel for what it's like here in Vietnam, walking around the streets. Today's a perfect day. There's not a breath of air. The water's flat. And temperature's about 30 degrees. Had some rain this morning, the roads were wet, but just now everything's dry. Now that I'm back in Vietnam, if you've got any questions about what's going on in Vietnam, what do you need to do when you come to Vietnam, put them in the chat, because I will love to answer your questions, and it gives me ideas for topics going forward. I'm picking up some medication today, so the wife's ducked off to do a couple of things. One is get the cleaners through her house, get that tickety-boo. The other is to pick up some medication for Steve, which doesn't need a prescription or anything here. You just take your old medication in and say, give me 3 months supply of each of those, please. So cheap as chips and easy to do. The boats are all moored up over there because nobody's out fishing today. There was a big storm out in the bay, and I did notice last night when I came over the big bridge here in Ha Long Bay that all the Ha Long Bay cruise ships had disappeared. Thanks for those of you that have stuck with me over the last little while. I know it's difficult when I'm in exile in Australia and I don't really know what to do about that content down there. It's really just me touring around Australia. But now that I'm back in Vietnam, it's going to be solid Vietnam Steve for us as far as we can see. If you like the videos, please click the like button. If you think that somebody else might be keen on the content, please share the content with them. And of course, if you want to see more of Vietnam Steve, please subscribe to the channel, because that's the only way that I know you get access to the latest entertainment. You see a lot of interesting little things on the road here. This is the third one I've seen since I've been talking to you. First one of those, but the third interesting thing. And he's had to hit the brakes going through that intersection. But yeah, interesting place to drive. Stay frosty, and I'll see you in the next one.